Hello, Chris here. In this video, we're going to talk about the loop cut tool in Blender. First, we will talk about all the basic information on the shortcut you need to know about the loop cut tool. Then we will make all these models using that techniques and basic information we learned in this video so far. Let's get started. Loop cut is an edit mode operation. So select the cube, go to edit mode using tab. As you can see, we have a total of 8 vertices right now. So if we need to additional operation in this cube, we need to add more geometry. Loop cut option is suitable for adding additional geometry to our objects. So if I go here, there is a toolbar on the left side. If you don't have this, you can press the T key to toggle on and off this toolbar, and I'm gonna expand this like this. Then there is the option called loop cut. As you can see, if I left click and hold, there is two loop cuts, loop cut and offset edge loop cut option. If I select the loop cut tool and hover the mouse cursor over the edge or faces of this object, as you can see, there is a loop cut going over the entire object, which is this light yellow line. As you can see, if I left click, it's going to create a loop cut through the entire object. As you can see, I can hold it here and left click, it's going to create a loop cut like this. As you can see, these loop cuts are right in the middle of these edges like this. So left click, this will create a loop cut in the right in the center of this edge like this. So if I want to make a loop cut to here, I can left click and drag the mouse cursor before letting go of the left mouse button and place it here. So if I left click and drag it like this before letting go of the left mouse button, I can place the loop cut here like this. So left click will place the loop cut at the center, and left click and drag will help us to slide the loop cut to here. So left click and dragging will help us to place the loop cut to our suitable position like this. So if I undo this using Ctrl C, go to loop cut tool and place a loop cut here, then there is the operator panel that will pop up here which says loop cut and slide. If I expand this number of cuts option, I can increase the number of cuts in this model, as you can see like this, or I can decrease the number according to my preferences. Smoothness option, as you can see, if it's a positive value, it will bring out the loop cuts, and negative value will bring the loop cuts inwards like this, as you can see. So the positive value will bring it outwards and negative value will bring it inwards. In this fallout option, I can change the fallout type of these loop cuts like this, as you can see. This is an inverse square option. This is a sharp, which will be suitable for creating sharp edges like this. And this is a linear like this. So you can change the fallout according to your preferences. The factor option will slide the loop cut from left to right, as you can see. So 1 will slide it to the left side and -1 will slide it to this right side. 0 will slide it in the middle. As you can see, this factor option is -1 to 1. If I type in 2, it's not going to work. So if I turn off this clamp option, then I type in 2, this will place the loop cut to here. So I can increase the value to -3. As you can see, it's going to place it like this. 2, place it here, -2, going to place it like this. So if I turn on the clamp option, it will range from -1 to 1, and if I turn off the clamping option, I can change the values beyond -1 and 1. We will talk about this even and flipped option later. This is a loop cut and slide tool. Now if I place a loop cut here like this, then if I go to this toolbar and select the offset edge loop cut tool and left click and drag, as you can see, it's going to create 2 loop cuts on either side of this first loop cut, equidistant from the loop, as you can see like this. Right now, these 2 loop cuts are selected. So if I left click and drag, as you can see, it's going to make 2 loop cuts on each side of the one of the loop cuts like this. If I go to this offset edge slide toolbar, I can change the factor like this in here. If I tick on this even option, it's going to make these 2 loop cuts equidistant from this middle loop cut, as you can see. So increasing the factor will increase it to like this, which will be equidistant from these 2 loop cuts like this. If I turn off even, it's going to place it like this, which is a percentage of this distance and this distance. As you can see, you can turn on even if you want to place the loop cuts from equidistance like this. The shortcut for placing a loop cut is Ctrl R. So if I press Ctrl R, I can place a loop cut like this. But unlike the loop cut tool, if I press left click, as you can see, it's going to let me slide the loop cuts to my desired position. If I want to place it on the center, I can right click. As you can see, this will place the loop cut at the center of the edge like this. Instead, if I can press Ctrl R and left click and drag the loop cut to wherever I want to place the loop cut like this. So Ctrl plus R, left click, slide the loop cut using mouse cursor and place it, and left click to confirm the position. Just going to place a loop cut like this. You can change the number of cuts in this operator panel, but if I press Ctrl R, I have one loop cut right now. So before clicking the left mouse button, if I use the mouse scroll wheel, as you can see, this will increase the number of loop cuts like this. So I can use the mouse scroll wheel to increase and decrease the number of loop cuts like this. I'm gonna place 5 loop cuts, then left click and right click to cancel any movement. This will place 5 loop cuts like this. So if I use the Ctrl plus R option, I can increase or decrease the number of cuts using the mouse scroll wheel and place the loop cuts according to my preferences. So I can place my desired number of loop cuts by using Ctrl plus R, which is the shortcut for loop cutting. Instead of the loop cut tool, I can have more control over the loop cuts operation like this. But instead, if I want to place 20 loop cuts and press Ctrl plus R, it's really difficult to count the number of loop cuts like this, as you can see. So if I press 20 in the keyboard, then left click and right click to cancel any movement, this is gonna place 20 loop cuts here. So I can place a specific number of loop cuts using Ctrl R, then type in the number of loop cuts you want. I'm going to place 10, then left click and slide it if you want, or right click to cancel any movement. So you can place a specific number of loop cuts in a model using Ctrl R shortcut and type in that number of loop cuts you want, then press left click and right click to cancel any movement, or left click and slide to place the loop cuts to your desired position. I can use the mouse scroll wheel to increase the number, or I can type in the specific number I want in the keyboard and press enter, left click like this. You can change the number of cuts, smoothness, fallout, factor like we did in the toolbar, or this option too. And if I select this face and extrude it using E key, if I scale this along the X axis and scale it like this, and this is an uneven object, as you can see here. So if I press Ctrl R in the keyboard, it's going to place a loop cut in the center, as you can see. If I left click and slide it using the mouse cursor, as you can see, this is going to slide the loop cut, but the loop cut's position and the shape changes according to the position of the mouse cursor, as you can see. So if I want to make this parallel to either side of the model, I can press E in the keyboard to make it even. As you can see, this will make it parallel to that right side like this. So I can place it here like this. So if I undo this using Ctrl C and Ctrl R to place a loop cut, I can left click. Then I can make E to make it even. Then press E and again if I don't want to make it even. So if I press E again, it's going to make it even like this to the right side. If I press F in the keyboard, this will flip that loop cut to other side, as you can see here. So Ctrl plus R, left click. If I want to make it even to that right side, I can press E in the keyboard to make it even and F in the keyboard to flip, as you can see like this. So Ctrl plus R, left click, E to make it even, F to flip and place it like this. So you can use the E and F key to make it even and flip to the edge loops according to your preferences like this. You can do the same in here. You can turn on the even option to make it even and flip the option to make it flip to the other side like this. So I can change it to here and make it even, or I can change it to flipped and make it here and slide it to here according to my preferences like this, as you can see. you can press the Alt and left click on one of the edges of that edge loop to select that edge loop, as you can see here. If I decided I don't want this edge loop, I can press X in the keyboard, then select dissolve edges. This will dissolve that edge loop, as you can see like this. So if I press Ctrl R and to make 3 loop cut, left click, right click to cancel any movement. I can select this edge loop, Alt left click on this edge loop, and I can press X, then select dissolve edges to remove that edge loop like this. If you want to know the distance of this edge loop, you can go to the overlays and turn on the edge length, as you can see. This is going to turn on the edge length like this. As you can see, if you select an edge, you can see the length of that edge, selected edge like this. So go to overlays and turn on the edge length if you want to know the length of a particular edge. I'm gonna turn this off. Go to overlays and turn off the edge length. So if you want to know the length of an edge, you can go to overlays and turn on the edge length. You can turn on the face area, face angle, edge angle, all here if you want. I'm gonna turn it off. I have a cube here, so if I'm gonna place the loop cut to Ctrl plus R, left click, right click. This loop cut is right here. If I decided I want to slide this edge loop to here, I can select this using Alt and left click. Then I normally press G to move, Y to move along Y axis and move it to here. You can do it like this. So if I go to object mode and rotate this cube like this and go to edit mode again, if I want to move this loop cut to here, I can't do it like before. So if I press G to move and Y to move like before, this is going to move it like this. If I press X, this is going to move it to there, and Z to move it to here. I don't want that, so right click. You can slide an edge loop to your desired position using the G key, as you can see. If I tap the G key twice, this will turn on the sliding option, so I can slide it to here. So select the edge loop using Alt and left clicking, then press the G key twice. You can slide the loop cut to your desired position like this. I have a cube like this, so if I go to face selection mode and select this face, G to move, Z to move and move it to here. Now if I extrude this by nothing, right click to cancel, S to scale, then E to extrude again, E to extrude again, right click to cancel, S to scale, E to extrude again, E to extrude again, right click to cancel, S to scale, E to extrude again, S to scale a little. Now you have a pyramid like this. So if I want to place 2 loop cuts in this model, which is straight line, I can press Ctrl R. If I increase the number to 2, as you can see, this is going to place a loop cut like this, which is in the same direction as the sides, as you can see here. So if I don't want these loop cuts, but I want to make the loop cuts straight, I can decrease the number to 1, left click, right click to cancel any movement. As you can see, it's in the middle like this. So if I press Ctrl plus R again, left click, I can move it to here on the top of the other loop cut. Then I can press G to move, Y to move along Y axis, point 1 minus, then press enter. This will move that loop cut to here. Then Alt and left click on this one, G to move, Y to move along Y axis, point 1, enter. Now we have 2 straight loop cuts like this, as you can see. So you can place a loop cut by using Ctrl plus R, left click, right click to cancel any movement, Ctrl plus R again, left click, slide the loop cut to the original position at the center, then G to move, X to move along X axis and place it, and select this, G to move, X to move along X axis and place it to my desired position like this, in order to straighten the loop cuts like this. If I go to front view, as you can see, this is straight in the X position. You can make straight loop cuts like this method here. So if I go to object mode and select this one and delete this, if I add a cylinder using Shift plus A, cylinder, and go to edit mode using tab and place a loop cut using Ctrl plus R, left click and slide it to here, then I can press G to move, Z to move, point 1 minus, and I can place a loop cut point 1 from this point here. So if I want to place a loop cut 0.4 meter from the bottom, I can use the loop cut, Ctrl plus R, left click, slide it to the bottom, then left click again, G to move, Z to move, 0.4, enter. This will place a loop cut 0.4 meter from the bottom, as you can see. So you can make a loop cut using Ctrl R and slide it to a position, then press G to move desired location, which is Z right now, then minus 0.6 and press enter. This will place a loop cut 0.6 from here. This way you can place a loop cut to a particular position you want, like this. So if I add a cube using Shift plus A, cube, if I move this to here, and if I want to place a loop cut 0.3 meters from the left side, I can place a loop cut, Ctrl plus R, left click and slide it to here, G to move, X to move along x-axis, 0.3, and place it like this. So if I want to place a loop cut 0.4 from here, Ctrl plus R, left click, slide it to here, G to move, X to move, 0.4 minus, enter. This will place a loop cut 0.4 meter from here. I'm gonna go to object mode and delete everything and add a cube. I go to edit mode. This is a quad object, as you can see, which means it has 4 vertices on each side. So these faces of this cube is made out of 4 vertices. That's why if I press Ctrl R, this will place a loop cut in this cube. So if I add an icosphere using Shift plus A, icosphere, and move it to here, as you can see, this is made of triangle. So if I want to make a loop cut in this one, if I press Ctrl R, as you can see, it's not working. It's because triangles can't have loop cuts, as you can see. This only has a total of 3 vertices, so the loop cut doesn't know where to go. So you can't place a loop cut in a mesh that's made of triangles, as you can see here. So if I add a UV sphere using Shift plus A, UV sphere, move it to here, and if I place a loop cut using Ctrl plus R, then left click, right click to cancel. As you can see, we have a loop cut here, but this loop cut is ending here. This is because this is a triangle, as you can see, like this, which means this only have one vertex here. So the loop cut doesn't know how to go to the other side. So you can't place a loop cut in a triangle. You can only place loop cuts in a mesh that's made of quad objects like this. So if I can press Ctrl R, as you can see, you can place a loop cut here or here, but I can place a loop cut here and slide it to here. This is because these sides of this UV sphere is made of quads, as you can see, which has a total of 4 vertices on each side. But if I place a loop cut here, as you can see, I can't place one inside this circle like this, but I can place one here. So the point is, you can't place a loop cut in a mesh that's made of triangles. So what if I want to place a loop cut in a mesh made of n-gons? So if I add a cylinder using Shift plus A, cylinder, and move it to here, as you can see, this side of the cylinder is made of 4 vertices. So if I place a loop cut, Ctrl plus R, I can place one here, or I can place one here, like this. But if I want to place a loop cut here, as you can see, it's not working, and this loop cut is not going on this side, as you can see. This is because the top and bottom of this cylinder is made of n-gons, which means it has more than 4 vertices like this. This has a total of 33 vertices, as you can see here. So loop cutting will work only in case of meshes that's made of quads. Triangles and n-gons will not work with the loop cut. So if I add a cone using Shift plus A, cone, G to move, X to move, and move it to here, as you can see, this side of this cone is made out of triangles like this. So if I press Ctrl R, as you can see, it's not working. We can't place a loop cut in here because the sides of this cone is made out of triangles, as you can see. So for some reason, if you want a cone and you want to place a loop cut in here, I'll show you how to do that. So go to object mode using tab, select all using A key. I'm gonna delete everything. Now I'm gonna add a cylinder using Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. Then I go to edit mode using tab and go to face selection mode. I'm gonna select this face and press S to scale, 0 to scale to 0, then press enter. Now the top of the 32 vertices of that cylinder is placed here. Now if I press Ctrl R, as you can see, I can place loop cuts in this model like this. and slide it to here. But beware, if I select this one using vertex selection mode and press G to move, as you can see that 32 vertices that made the top of that cylinder is still here. So if you want for some reason to make loop cut in a cone, you can make a cone using a cylinder by using Shift plus A, cylinder, move it to here, select the top face using face selection mode, S to scale, 0 to scale to 0, press enter. Now I can place a loop cut like this using Ctrl R, left click, right click, S to scale. I can make something like this. I don't know what this is, but it's looking good. So you can make a cone that will loop cut like this if you want. But beware, there is overlapping geometry here because there is a total of 32 vertices at this point right here. If you want to get rid of that after all you've done, you can press A to select all, M, then by distance, this will remove that double vertices. If I remove the double vertices and press Ctrl R, as you can see, the loop cutting is not working. But the loop cutting is working here. This is because this side all is made of triangles and these sides are made of quads, as you can see. You can solve that issue like this if you want. I'm gonna go to object mode using tab, select all, then delete. I'll show you an example of loop cutting that will come in handy. So if I'm gonna add a cylinder, Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. If I want to shade smooth this object, I can press a right click, select the object, a right click, shade smooth. As you can see, there is a weird effect going on. This is because these angles are 90° and it's being shaded smooth like this, which will make this weird effect. So if I go to edit mode using tab and Ctrl R and place a loop cut and slide it to here and make a loop cut to here and slide it to here. Then if I go to object mode, as you can see, the weird effect on this side is gone. Then if I go to edit mode using tab, go to face selection mode, and select this face, E to extrude, right click to cancel the movement and S to scale a little. Do the same on this side, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale a little. Then if I go to object mode using tab, as you can see that weird effect is gone. You can use this method to remove the weird effect that will go on by shade smoothing the object, as you can see here. So if I add a cube, Shift plus A, mesh, cube, G to move and move it to here. If I right click and shade smooth, this will look weird like this. So if I go to edit mode using tab, Ctrl plus R, place a loop cut and place it to here. Make a loop cut and place it to this side and place a loop cut to here and place it to here and make a loop cut to here and place it to here. And if I go to object mode using tab, as you can see that weird effect is gone. Then make a loop cut to here and place it to here and make a loop cut to here and place it and slide it to here. If I go to edit mode and object mode, as you can see, a cube is shaded smooth and the weird effect that will go on is disappeared. You can shade smooth your objects and place supporting loops like this near the edge to make that weird effect to go away. As you can see, this cube and cylinder is looking like it's a subdivision surface modifier is applied to them. You can make your objects shaded smooth like this and give a beveled look to the edges like this, as you can see. If I select all and delete, and if I add a cylinder and a cube again, if I add a cube and if I apply a subdivision surface modifier to it, as you can see, this is going to make that cube to look like a sphere like this. So if I select this and go to edit mode, I can press Ctrl R and place a loop cut and slide it to here. And if I place a loop cut again and slide it to the bottom and make a loop cut to here and slide it to here and place one here and slide it to here and place one here and place one here. As you can see, a cube is looking like a cube right now. These loops are called supporting loops because this will tell the subdivision surface modifier to subdivide these edges and not subdivide them as a whole. This way, you can make your cube look like this by using the supporting loops like this. So if I'm gonna add a cylinder using Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder, move it to here. If I add a subdivision surface modifier to this one, this is going to look like this. If I increase this to 2 and go to edit mode, I can place loop cuts in this model to make it look like a cylinder by using the supporting loops like this. So I can't place a loop cut in this face. I'm gonna go to face selection mode, select this face, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale a little, and do the same on this side. E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale a little. As you can see, if I go to object mode, our cylinder is looking good, and right click, shade smooth. This is going to smooth shade our object and make it look like this. So if you want to smooth your objects by using a subdivision surface modifier, you can place supporting loops like this to make your model to the appropriate shape as you want. So if I go to object mode and select this and delete this, I'm gonna add a cube using Shift plus A, mesh, cube. I'm gonna scale it along the Z axis to here. I'm gonna apply the scale using Ctrl plus A, scale. If I want to make a hole in the middle of this cube, I can go to edit mode. As you can see, I don't have any geometry at the middle, so I can place a loop cut using Ctrl R and increase it to 2 and do the same on this side. If I want to make a hole on this middle, I can go to face selection mode, select this face, shift select this face, press X in the keyboard, then select faces. This will delete that two faces. Then go to edge selection mode, Alt and left click to select this edge loop, Shift Alt and left click to select this edge loop. So I selected that two edge loops, then go to this edge option, then select bridge edge loops. As you can see, this will bridge that two edge loops and make a hole in the middle of this model, as you can see here. So if I go to object mode, I have a hole in the middle of this cube right here, as you can see. So you can make holes in your models like this using the loop cut tool here. So if I select this and go to edit mode, I'm gonna place two loop cuts here, place two more here, and place two more here. If I want to place 4 holes in the middle of here, then I can go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select this face, and shift to select these faces, and press X in the keyboard, select the faces, then go to edge selection mode, Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one, edge, bridge edge loops, Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one, edge, bridge edge loops. Do the same here, Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one, edge, bridge edge loops. Do the same here. This is going to place 4 holes in this model. As you can see, if I go to object mode, we have 4 holes in our model like this. So you can place holes in your model using loop cutting and bridging edge loops option like this. That's it for the basics. Now we are going to make all these models using the techniques we just learned in this video. Let's get started. Now we're going to make a chair. So we need to add a cube, Shift plus A, mesh, cube. Then go to edit mode using tab, S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis, 0.1, press enter. Now we need to place loop cuts in this model. So Ctrl R, left click to place a loop cut, right click to cancel any movement, Ctrl R, left click, right click. Now I'm gonna select this one using Alt left click, press T key to bring out this menu, select the offset edge loops cut option, left click and drag and place a loop cut to here. Select box option, Alt left click this one, select the offset edge loop cut tool, left click and slide it to here. Alt left click this one, left click and slide it to here. Now we don't want this middle loop cuts like this. So go to select box, Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one, X dissolve edges. Now go to face selection mode. Shift to select these 4 faces, E to extrude and extrude it to here. Now select this face, Shift to select these 3 faces, E to extrude and extrude it to here. Move it a little. Now we need to place loop cuts here. So Ctrl R, left click, right click to cancel any movement, Ctrl R again, then Control R again. You have 3 loop cuts here, so go to X-ray mode, go to front view, select these 3 loop cuts, go to front view again, G to move, Z to move, and move it to here. Now go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select these 4 faces, press X, select the faces, this will delete those faces. Now we need to select these edge loops, shift to select these edge loops, edge, bridge edge loops, do the same here, edge, bridge edge loops. Then come out of X-ray mode. As you can see, we have a chair here. Now we're going to make a table. So select this one, G to move, X to move, and move it to there. Shift plus A, mesh, cube, go to edit mode. S to scale, Z to scale, 0.1, enter. Now select this face using face selection mode. G to move, Y to move, 2 to move 2 meter, press enter. Now we have a cube like this. Now we need to place loop cuts in this model. Select tool, press period key in the number to zoom into that one. So Control R, left click, right click, Control R again, left click, right click. Select offset edge loop cut option. Alt and left click this edge, left click and slide 2 loop cuts to here. Alt left click this option, left click and slide the loop cuts to here. Now we don't need this middle loop cuts, so go to select box, Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one, press X, dissolve edges. Now go to face selection mode, select this face, Shift to select these 4 faces. Now E to extrude and extrude it to here. Then go to object mode. Now we have a table as you can see. G to move, X to move, and move it to there. Now we're going to make a pillar in the same way. So Shift plus A, mesh. I'm gonna add a cube. Go to edit mode, select this face, G to move, Z to move, 4 meter, press enter. Now select all using a key, S to scale, Shift Z to not scale among Z axis, 0.4, then press enter. Now we need to place 2 loop cuts, Control R, increase it to left click, right click to cancel any movement. Make sure the pivot point is median point, S to scale, Z to scale, and move it to here. We need to add 2 more loop cuts, increase it to left click, right click, S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis, and place it like this. S to scale, Shift Z to not to scale among Z axis, and place it like this. Now Control plus R again, increase to 2, left click, right click, S to scale, Z to scale, and move it to here. Now select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and slide it to like this. Then go to this operator panel and change it to even, then decrease the factor to like this. Now we need to extrude this. So go to face selection mode, Alt left click and select this one. Then go to select similar area. This will select these 4 face loops. Then E to extrude, S to scale, Shift Z to not to scale among Z axis, and scale it like this. Now go to edge selection mode, Alt select this one, Shift Alt and left click on this one, S to scale, Shift Z to not to scale among Z axis, and scale it like this. Now we need to place 2 loop cuts, Control R, increase it to left click, right click, S to scale, Z to scale, and bring it to here. Select the offset edge loops option, left click and slide it to here like this. Change it to even and decrease the value to here. We don't need these two, so Alt and left click and select these two, press X, dissolve edges, then go to face selection mode, Alt and left click and select this face, S to scale, Shift Z to not scale among Z axis, and scale it like this. Now we have an interesting looking pillar as you can see. You can go to face selection mode, select this face, select box option, select this face, Shift to select this face, S to scale, Shift Z, and scale it a little like this to make it more interesting. Now we have a pillar like this. Go to object mode, G to move, X to move, and move it to here. Now we're going to make a leaf shape. Shift plus A, mesh, plane. Select the plane, press period key in the number to zoom into that one. Go to edit mode using tab. Now we need to make a loop cut to this one. So Control R, left click, right click, select all, S to scale, Y to scale among y-axis, 0.5%. Then go to vertex selection mode. Go to top view using number 7. Select this vertex, G to move, X to move and move it to here. Select these two, G to move, X to move and place it here. You need to make loop cuts in this one, G to move, X to move and move it to here. Control R, place 3 loop cuts like this, left click, right click. Select these two, S to scale, Y to scale among y-axis and make it like this. To scale, Y to scale among y-axis, S to scale, Y to scale among y-axis and place it like this and make a leaf shape like this. Now we have a shape like this. If I want G to move, X to move and move it to here to make it more interesting and place it here. Now select this edge loop, alt left click this one, select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and slide it to here to make an equidistant edge loop like this. Go to select box option, alt left click on this one, control box select this one to deselect this and control box select this one to deselect this, G to move, Z to move and move it like this. Go to front view using number 1 and move it to here. Now we have something like this. Select this, E to extrude, X to extrude among x-axis, E to extrude again, X to extrude along x-axis, scale it a little among the y-axis, E to extrude again, X to extrude among x-axis, scale Y to scale among y-axis and place it like this. Now we have a leaf shape like this. We don't have any thickness to it, so select all using A key, E to extrude and extrude it a little. Now go to modifier properties, add modifier, subdivision surface modifier. As you can see, we got a leaf looking like this. Go to object mode. We have a leaf shape like this right now. So go to edit mode again. We can make a curve to this leaf shape. Go to select this one. Go to X-ray mode. Select these tip vertices. Go to front view using number 1. Turn on proportional editing. G to move and move it like this. Can use the mouse scroll wheel to increase the circle of influence radius like this. So select this, G to move, Z to move and place it like this to make a curve like this. Now if we go to object mode, we have a leaf shape that is looking like this. Now we need to move this to here, G to move, X to move it to here. We're going to make a torch. So shift plus A, mesh, cylinder, go to edit mode, go to face selection mode, select this face, G to move, Z to move, 4, press enter. Turn off proportional editing, select all, S to scale, shift Z to not scale among Z axis and scale it to here. Now select this face. Go to front view using number 1. We need to place a loop cut here. Control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. Now go to face selection mode, alt to left click this one, S to scale, shift to Z to not scale among Z axis and scale it like this. Now control plus R again, increase to 2, left click, right click, S to scale, Z to scale and bring it close like this, G to move, Z to move it to here, G to move, Z to move and move it to here. Go to face selection mode, alt left click this one, need to place 2 loop cuts here, control plus R, left click, slide it to here, control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Go to face selection mode, alt left click this one, S to scale, shift to Z and scale it like this. Now we need to place a loop cut here, control plus R, left click, slide it to here, control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Go to face selection mode, alt left click this one, S to scale, shift to Z and scale it like this. Now we have a torch that is looking like this. You can select this face, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale a little, then E to extrude again, inverts a little, then S to scale a little, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale and scale it to here, G to move, Z to move and move it like this. Now we have a torch that is looking like this. You can select this face, Ctrl plus plus to increase the selection to here, G to move, Z to move and move it to here. Now it's looking good. Then go to object mode, G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now we need to make a Rubik's cube, so shift plus A, mesh, cube. Focus on this using period key. Go to edit mode using tab. We're going to place 3 loop cuts on each side of this cube. So Ctrl plus R, increase to 3, left click, right click. Ctrl plus R, left click, right click, increase to 3 like this. Now that 3 loop cuts are selected, select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and slide it to here like this. To select a box, hold to left click this one, shift hold to left click this one, S to scale, shift Z to note to scale among Z axis and scale it like this. Select these 3, hold to left click, shift hold to left click, select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and slide it like this. Hold to left click this middle one, shift hold to left click to select the middle one, S to scale, shift Y to note to scale among Y axis and scale it to here. Do the same on this side. Hold to left click this one, shift hold to left click this one, select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and slide it to here. Select a box, hold to left click, shift hold to left click and shift hold to left click, S to scale, shift X to note to scale among X axis and place it like this. Now if we go to object mode, as you can see we have a cube like this. I can add a bevel modifier to make it look more interesting. I'm gonna change this to 0.01 and make it look like this. It's looking interesting. We will talk more about the bevel modifier and the subdivision surface modifier in the future videos. Select this one, G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now we're going to make a cup using a cylinder. Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. Go to edit mode, select all using a key, S to scale, shift Z and scale it like this. Go to front view using numbered 1, Ctrl plus R, left click and slide it to here. To make a loop cut to here, Ctrl plus R again, left click, slide it to here, S to scale, shift Z and scale it like this. Maybe scale it a little big. Ctrl plus R again, left click, slide it to here, S to scale, shift Z and slide it like this. Now we need to add a loop cut. Ctrl plus R, slide it to here, S to scale, shift Z and scale it like this. Now Ctrl plus R again, slide it to here, S to scale and scale it a little. Now Ctrl plus R, slide it to here, S to scale and slide it, scale it a little bit, then scale it like this. Ctrl plus R again, left click, scale it a little, then Ctrl plus R, left click, slide it to here, scale a little big. Go to X-ray mode, select these edges, S to scale and scale it like this. Select this one, S to scale and scale it like this. Then Ctrl plus R again, scale it like this and scale it like this. Now if come out of X-ray mode, we need to make the top. Go to face selection mode, select the top, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale a little. Then go to X-ray mode, go to front view using numbered 1, E to extrude and move it to here. Go to front view. I'm gonna place it in the top using GZ and scale it a little. E to extrude again, S to scale, E to extrude again, S to scale it a little small, E to extrude, S to scale and scale it to here, Ctrl plus R, left click, right click, S to scale and scale it a little. Come out of X-ray mode. Now we have a cup that is looking like this. Go to object mode. I'm gonna move it to here. G to move, X to move, and move it to here. Now we're going to make a chest piece. So shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. Go to edit mode. S to scale, shift Z, 0.5, enter. Now go to front view using numbered 1. You need to scale this really small. S to scale, shift Z, 0.4, enter. Now control plus R, place a loop cut and place it to here. Control plus R, place it to here. S to scale and scale it to here. Control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. S to scale, scale it a little bit big. Control plus R, slide it to here. S to scale and scale it like this. G to move, Z to move it to here. Control plus R, left click, right click, S to scale a little. Control plus R again, left click, right click. Control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. S to scale a little. Control plus R, slide it to here. S to scale a little. So slide it to here. S to scale and scale it like this. Then control plus R, slide it to here. S to scale and scale it little big. Then place a loop cut here. Scale it really small like this. Then control plus R, place a loop cut and scale it like this. Now we need to make a top. Select this face using face selection mode. Go to front view, G to move, Z to move it to here. S to scale, scale it like this. G to move, Z to move it to here. Now we're going to place a loop cut here. S to scale and scale it like this. Go to face selection mode. Select this face, S to scale and scale it like this. Go to front view again. Control plus R, left click, right click. Control plus R, left click, right click. Go to X-ray mode. You need to select these two loop cuts. Go shift to select this one. S to scale, shift to Z and scale it like this. Gonna select this one alone. S to scale and scale it like this. Going to place another loop cut. Slide it to here. S to scale a little. Hold to left click this one. S to scale a little. Hold to left click this one. S to scale a little. Then come out of X-ray mode. You have an interesting looking chest piece like this. You can bring this down if you want. Face selection mode, it's too long. So control plus plus. Get to front view, G to move, Z to move and move it to here like this. So scale this down a little. Select this face. Control plus plus to increase the selection and scale it to here. S to scale, shift to Z and scale it like this. Now go to object mode. You have I think it's a chest piece. Anyway, you're having fun with the loop cutting. G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now we're going to make a port. So shift plus A, mesh, cylinder, add modifier, subdivision surface modifier. Go to edit mode. Go to face selection mode. Select the top face. Go to front view. S to scale and scale it like this. Control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Then control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. Then control plus R, place a loop cut here, slide it to here like this. Then we need to place a loop cut here. Then go to face selection mode, hold to left click this one, S to scale, shift to Z to note scale among Z axis and place it like this. Control plus R again, left click and slide it to here to make it look like this. You need to place a loop cut, so control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Then go to face selection mode, select this face, go to X-ray mode, go to front view, E to extrude. So you can see it's too long. G to move, Z to move and move it to here. S to scale and scale it to here. Now control plus R, left click and slide the loop cut to here. Then go to come out of X-ray mode. So you can see it's going inside this one. So control plus R again, left click and slide it to here to make it look like this. If you want, you can get rid of this by selecting this face and E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale and scale it a little, and this will look like this. As you can see, can increase the subdivisions to 2 to make it look more interesting. Go to object mode. We have a plant port like this. You can shade smooth, right click, shade smooth, go to edit mode, select this face, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale and scale it a little. We'll make a plant for this port in the next coming videos. G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now we're going to make a fluorescent lamp. So shift plus A, mesh, cube, go to edit mode, S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis, then 0.1 and S to scale, Y to scale among Y axis, 5 and S to scale, X to scale among X axis, 0.4 and now we have something like this. We need to place 2 loop cuts, Ctrl plus R, grease to left click, right click, S to scale, Y to scale and place it here. Now select this face by going to face selection mode, shift to select this one, E to extrude and extrude it to here. Now select this face, shift D to duplicate, right click to cancel any movement, then press P, then by select selection, this will separate it into a new object. Go to object mode, select the only face, go to edit mode, select the face, E to extrude and extrude it to here like this. Then add modifier, subdivision surface modifier. Go to top using number 7. You need to place 2 loop cuts, Ctrl plus R, increase to 2, left click, right click to cancel any movement, S to scale, Y to scale among Y axis and place it like this. Now place a loop cut in the center, Ctrl plus R, left click, right click to cancel any movement. As you can see, it's looking good. You can increase the number to 2 to make it more interesting like this. Select all using a key, S to scale, Y to scale and place it inside this one like this. Go to object mode, right click, shade smooth. You have an interesting looking lamp like this. Anyway, select this one, G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now we're going to make a pyramid for our last section. So shift plus A, mesh, cube, go to edit mode using tab, S to scale, 3 to scale 3 times, press enter. Now we need to place loop cuts in this. So Ctrl plus R, going to place 4 loop cuts, left click, right click to cancel any movement, select these 4 loop cuts, go to here and select the offset edge loop cut option, left click and drag to make loop cuts like this, make it tiny bit like this. Now we need to delete the center ones, so go to select box, alt left click the center ones, press X in the keyboard, dissolve edges. Go to face selection mode, select this one, Ctrl plus to increase the selection and increase it to here. Go to front view using numbered 1, S to scale, shift Z to not scale among Z axis and place it here. Then Ctrl plus minus and select to here, S to scale, shift Z and scale it to here. Ctrl plus minus again, S to scale, shift Z and scale it to here. Then Ctrl plus minus again, S to scale, shift Z and scale it to here like this. Now we have an interesting looking pyramid like this. If you want, select this face, G to move, Z to move and place it to here. Now if you want to place 2 loop cuts here, Ctrl plus R, left click, right click, Ctrl plus R again, left click, slide it to here, G to move, X to move, 0.1, enter, alt left click this one, G to move, X to move, minus 0.1, enter. Now we have 2 loop cuts like this. I'm gonna make an incision here, so Ctrl plus R. Go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select these faces, E to extrude and extrude it inwards and make holes like this. Go to object mode. Now we have an interesting looking pyramid like this in our scene. For the last part, I will show you how to make a cube into a cylinder. So G to move, X to move and move it to here. Now if we add a cube using shift plus A, and I'm gonna add a cube like this. And if we're gonna add a cylinder, shift plus A, mesh, cylinder, G to move, Y to move and move it to here. If I select the cylinder and go to edit mode using tab, as you can see, you can't place a loop cut in this model on the top like this or go through the model like this. So I'm going to show you how to make a cube like this into a cylinder like this made out of quads. So go to object mode, select the cube, go to edit mode. You need to place loop cuts in this, Ctrl plus R. I'm going to place 6 loop cuts, then press enter. Left click, Ctrl plus R, 6 in the keyboard to place 6 loop cuts, enter. This will place loop cuts like this. Then go to edge selection mode, Alt left click this edge, Shift Alt left click and select these edges as you can see. Then go here and mesh, transform to sphere. Then move the mouse cursor. As you can see, this will turn this edge into a circle. You can see the factor here. If I change this to 1, it will be a complete circle like this. So do the same here. Alt left click this one, Shift Alt left click this one. Then go here, mesh, transform to sphere. Then move the mouse cursor and place it to here. Change this to 1 if it's not. We initially had a cube, now it's looking like a cylinder, which is made out of quads completely. You can place loop cuts in this model from this ring and in this way, everywhere you want, like this. You can place a loop cut here. You can place a loop cut in this way. So you can make a cube into a cylinder that can be loop cut like this. That's it for this video. If you liked this video so far, please give a like to this video in the bottom. And if you're new to this channel and you want to get more videos like this, you can press the subscribe button at the bottom to subscribe to this channel. And you want to get notified while I release new videos, you can press the bell icon below. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.